If someone told me that pomegranates were the one fruit that would really increase my sexual drive, I probably wouldn't believe them. But if I read that online from a seemingly reputable source, I probably would. Truth and advertising, mixed with a little bit of clickbait, has created a cocktail of misinformation on the internet, especially around sexual health. This is something that I, Lexy Akillas, in partnership with
Alissa Vecchio,
Malithi Geeganage,
Cassandra Coleman,
Neil Harris,
decided to test as a project designed for Vice's channel Motherboard. Malithi, who majors in advertising, reminisces on how we came up with the project and regards it as a collaborative experience.
We were all very present when we first met together to discuss what we could do, and there were a lot of ideas bouncing around. And then because the idea of a prank had been brought up earlier in the class, just thinking, what if we conducted some sort of prank where we tried to test out the lie? And everyone was really receptive to that, so I felt really happy that people were oh, cool. But yeah, then it was so interesting that everyone had so much to offer, which was really cool. So it was sort of the dream team coming together with all of our different skill sets.
Also majoring in advertising, Alissa took on the role of creating the majority of our visual content, which not only included the hilarious memes, but also the other humorous images that were featured on our various platforms. Here's Alissa explaining the concepts behind the pictures.
It's just a black and white background with a pomegranate as a central image, and the constant use of a font that's used on all of the different platforms, and the slogan "Get Pomegranated," which is supposed to be a play on the term "get fucked." And also just the sexual connotations around the titles that were used. Things like "Apple Bottom Jeans," "Don't Insult Me" comes from the Flow Rider song, "Low," which is about the sexualization of women, which plays on the idea of sexual health. And just basically using culturally accepted jokes and humour to play that all together.
As a creative writing major, we assumed Neil would breeze through the task of creating us some legitimate sounding articles. However, he actually ran into a few problems during the writing process.
It was very weird to kind of try to write something that seemed like it was coming from personal experience that absolutely wasn't. I was kind of trying to use my authentic kind of writing voice that I would usually reserve for things that are actual real things. And it was really confronting, actually. It was enjoyable. It was an interesting exercise, but it was there are people out there that actually do this.
Despite those moral concerns, I took this idea of pomegranates being an aphrodisiac to the streets and grabbed some vox pops, or should I say pom pops, about whether or not people would believe it if they saw this claim in the media.
I would. Why? I would believe it because I feel like all these fruits and vegetables have hidden things that we don't know about unless we look for it. So I would believe it.
Probably not, and because not everything you read on the internet is true.
I don't know about that, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's in the paper.
Probably not. No.
Why?
I just think there's too much out there of this, this food increases your sexual libido, and really, does it?
Cassandra, who is a social and political sciences major, talks results and how if Vice were to pick up our project, they could really run with it.
In terms of our results and what we saw, we got good feedback from this in the sense of getting what we were hoping to get. Considering we had only a day and then we were getting those kinds of results, I think on an even bigger scale, this could be really, really cool to see where it goes.
We'd like to thank everyone who supported our social media campaign, and we hope that our audience has taken away the important lesson that not everything you read online is fact. But to those who haven't yet checked out our online presence, get onto it and get
Pomegranated.